I am going to be building a team that consists of centermen only, and we are going to see if the best players in the world, the most valuable position in the world, can come together and win a Stanley Cup. As we look at this team, we can tell it is loaded top to bottom offensively. We got McKinnon, McDavid, and Crosby as our first line. Leon, Matthews, and Hughes as our second line. Moving on to our third line, Stammer, Miller, and Pettersson. That is a damn good line. And then we have Tage Thompson, Rope, Hintz, and Dylan Larkin. Moving on to defensemen, our best defensive forwards will be playing that. We got Barkov and Kopitar as our top pair. Braden Point will play alongside Sebastian Aho. And then we got Jack Eichel and Mark Scheifele. And in goal, I made sure to not make this team overpowered. We got Devin Levi only at an 82 overall. And if he's even too good himself, we can go to our backup in Marcus Hogberg, who's only a 74. So this team is going to completely rely on the forwards playing forward and D to carry this team to a Stanley Cup within 5 seasons. If they don't do that, then obviously they will fail the challenge. The most valuable position is center, of course, and we are going to see if that comes to life here in NHL 25 with the likes of McDavid, Crosby, Matthews, even Connor Bedard, I think, is a scratch, a healthy scratch on this team, and we're starting off great so far. 7-2 to start the season. Not really that much of a surprise. We see UConn at the top here. 71 wins, 11 regulation losses. Winnipeg had a very good season. Washington was up there. Colorado, Carolina, and Toronto. Really accurate to real life, I'm not going to lie. Outside of the Avalanche, all of these teams are at the top of the NHL. If we take a look at the bottom, Calgary's very bad with only 31 wins. Tampa Bay shat the bed. Buffalo didn't have a good season, neither did Columbus. Connor McDavid will lead our team. He had 47 goals, 116 points. McKinnon had 110, Crosby 101, Leon 93 with 43 goals as well. Even Steven Stamkos, he put up 40 as a 35-year-old in the NHL. Matthews was, he was meh. Point per game, I guess, 32 goals, but he's not going to show up in the postseason. And for Devin Levi, oh my God, a 912 save percentage, 3 shutouts, and 58-8 record. So maybe a guy at an 84, he's already up to an 84. He started at an 82. So maybe even that is putting too much of a good goaltender in the net for these loaded team that really probably doesn't even need a goalie to go on and win the Stanley Cup. I guess we will see. Connor McDavid would end up leading the entire NHL in scoring. We got McKinnon, who was up there, Austin Matthews, Jason Robertson, Sidney Crosby on Pittsburgh. Our Sidney Crosby with 101 points, which is crazy. Also, ever since the PWHL update, the loading screens have been even slower here in NHL 25. I didn't think that was possible, to be honest, but I don't even know how. Whatever happened during that update just slowed down the game immensely. And for goals, Austin Matthews will put up 61 on the season, and nobody was even close. Nobody even had 50. Leon 49, Kaprizov 48, McDavid 47. Of course, Levi will have the most wins at 48, not even close. And the most shutouts will go to Shesty. Just signed a massive extension for like $11.5 million with the Rangers. He had 7 on the year. And in the first round of the postseason, we have the St. Louis Blues, who aren't really that good of a team. I expect us to just blow by them, blow by most of the Western Conference. Edmonton will give us a tough challenge. Maybe even Dallas or Colorado as well. We are currently up 3-1 over the St. Louis Blues, and that is honestly what I expected. I really didn't think we would lose a single game, but right now we're trailing in the third period of Game 5, trying to close the series out in UConn. Let's see what the Icemen can do. They're only down by 1, so a team full... Oh my God, Justin Falk on Devin Levi will extend the lead halfway through the third, but Nathan McKinnon brings us back on Binnington. It is, again, only a 1-goal game. What can UConn do? 2 minutes to go. It doesn't look like there's going to be a comeback, and there we go. We will have a Game 6 back in the murder capital of the USA. Things are getting a little tricky here in the first round up against the Blues. We do have a 2-0 lead thanks to Barkov and Larkin in the third period, but we got to hold on, man. Devin Levi is going to have a shutout here. I don't know why I said the word, but 33 shots at 21. We're definitely outplaying St. Louis right now, and we are trying to advance to the second round of the postseason. 5 minutes to go. What can we do? Can we hold on to the lead? There we go. A 3-0 lead, 1:11 to go in the third period, and we should be able to comfortably close out the St. Louis Blues here in 6 games. They actually gave us a series, which was honestly not expected, but at the end of the day, this team full of the best centermen in the world are going to advance one step closer to a Stanley Cup, which we should theoretically be able to do. Maybe even possibly in year number 1, we had goddamn 71 wins on the season. Why would we not be able to? The only excuse would be our goaltending. But that is why I gave us a bad goal. Not a bad goalie, but I didn't give us an elite level goaltender right now at only an 82 overall because this team's already loaded. I might even begin to honestly give us like 70 overall goaltenders, like the lowest of the low for these best team videos, because at the end of the day, they're going to be very good regardless. They're going to sim well offensively. Defensively is the challenge. They got some good defensive forwards actually playing defense, but at the end of the day, you got to stop the puck, and that is what a goalie is for. They can steal you games, steal you series, maybe even ride a hot goaltender to a Stanley Cup. Shout out St. Louis back in 2019. And that will do it. In 6 games, the Yukon Icemen will defeat the St. Louis Blues, and we are now headed to round number 2, one step closer to a Stanley Cup here in Yukon. We now move on to face the Vancouver Canucks in the second round, so a much tougher matchup than St. Louis. We're currently up 2-0. Maybe we might breeze by them in 4 straight games, a 3-0 series lead. And there we go. I don't know. This sim engine is crazy, man. St. Louis takes us to 6 games, but somehow the Vancouver Canucks just get swept and absolutely abolished. Like tearing down a goddamn school. It's just gone out of here. And now we got a tough matchup against Dallas in the conference finals. The best team so far that we have faced in the postseason, and they give us a real challenge here. We're down to, okay, we got a 2-2 series tie heading into a very pivotal game number 5, and now the opportunity to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, up 3-2 in our series over Dallas. Here we go. Game 6, first period. Thank you, Matthews and McKinnon. Heading into the third, it is a dominating 5-1 lead. 6-1 now, thanks to Leon Draisaitl and JT Miller. We are dominating the Dallas Stars. Shots are 49-16. Oh my God. This team of centermen are just cleaning up in the NHL. And the Yukon Icemen will go ahead and advance to the Stanley Cup Finals as they dominate their way through the Western Conference outside of St. Louis, who actually gave us our toughest series, but it does not matter as we dominate Dallas 7-1 in the closeout game. I mean, we destroyed them on shots. It was like 50-16, something crazy like that. Regardless, the team full of centermen are going to advance. There is McDavid and Jamie Benn shaking hands. The $9 million man, the 2015 Art Ross Trophy winner as well, with like 87 points. And there is McDavid standing next to the trophy, but it's not the one that we want. And now in the Cup Finals, a matchup up against the most popular team in the league, and the Leafs up against Utah. Best of 7 for the Stanley Cup. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Either Toronto ends their curse or Yukon goes on and does the expected, which is to win a Stanley Cup. Here we go. Stanley Cup Final action. Game 1, we dominate. Game 2, we dominate as well. Both 6-1 victories. We're leading 3-0 in the series heading into game number 4. Things are not going well for Toronto heading into the third. They're only down by 1. I mean, shots are 31-8, but they are still technically somehow in this game. I have no idea how. I guess Anthony Stolarz is standing on his head right now. We all know Joseph Woll is not starting. Still a 2-1 advantage halfway through the third period. Can Yukon close the show and get the job done? Here we go. It is clutch time now. 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the third period. We got a 1-goal advantage, and it does not matter. We are going all out. Full forecheck. Oh no, Marner walking in. A great block in front by Barkov, the best current defensive forward in the entire NHL. McKinnon coming down the wing. Nathan shooting. Rebound. McDavid trying to clean it up, but he could not get it to go. That would pretty much ice the game. Toronto is still in it, man. All they need is one shot to tie it up here. Crosby, where are you going? Where are you going, Sid? You're going the wrong way, buddy. Moves it over to McDavid, coming into the zone. Connor McDavid looking. He's just weaving, trying to take a shot. But there's like 4 or 5 guys clustered in the middle there in the slot. Quinn Hughes rips it for the... Actually, that is Jack Hughes, my bad. I obviously got messed up by the fact that Quinn Hughes plays D, but there it is. The Stanley Cup in Toronto, something nobody ever thought we would see again, but unfortunately for the Leaf fans, they might end up rioting if they don't get the victory here tonight. Getting back here for the first time since 67 is not enough. They want to win it. Unfortunately for them, they're down 3-0 in the series, 2-1 in the game. Draisaitl shooting, and they got full pressure as well. Chris Tanev got to get the puck out. They're going to have to end up pulling their goalie here. Only 25 seconds to go. Empty net for Toronto. Morgan Riley pulls off between the legs. Deke, okay, brother. I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man. Leon moves it up. There's an empty net. Matthews rips it off the shin pads just like Ricky Hughes to dry, and there it is. Leon Draisaitl will clean it up. His second of the night. Empty netter, 7th of the postseason. And that is pretty much going to seal the deal in the Stanley Cup Finals. And there it is. The team full of centermen in year number 1 will get the job done. They had 71 wins in the regular season, 16 in the postseason, and now a Stanley Cup to their resume. I'm not too shocked by this. I know they were going to be a good team. I want to see how good of a team they can be. Are they going to go back-to-back? Are they going to three-peat? Are they going to fail in year number 2 like a lot of these one-hit wonder teams do? What am I even saying? I have no idea. Nathan MacKinnon is your Conn Smythe winner. He had 9 goals, 30 points, and 32 hits, a plus 21, as he is playing for the best team in the National Hockey League, and he will grab a Conn Smythe to his resume. He does not have one, as Cale Makar won it back in 22 when they won the Stanley Cup. And there it is. Toronto fans, I can see them in the background throwing trash and beer already. They are extra mad seeing their Leafs lose in the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, at least it wasn't Game 7. They got dominated in 4 games. Get the brooms out and get Connor McDavid a Hall of Fame jacket right now. He just etched in stone him making the Hall of Fame, winning the Stanley Cup. And he's going to be able to raise it for UConn in year number 1. It is now time to try to go back-to-back. Obviously, McKinnon on our team did have the most points. McDavid chipped in with 11 goals, 28 points. Crosby did a hell of a job at 37. Matthews was very good. Leon, Hughes, Aho, and even a guy like Devin Levi. I mean, he had a .929, 3 shutouts, and a 16-3-1 record. So maybe heading into next season, I will have our backup as our starting goalie, turn off auto-rotate goalies, and give this team a proper challenge at trying to take home the trophy. Our McDavid will win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews, the Maurice Richard, the Norris, the Quinn Hughes, Matvei Mishkov, the Calder, McKinnon, the Conn Smythe. Levi will take home the Vezina and the Selke, not to Art Barkov, but the one that plays for Florida. Yeah, the fact that our goalie, Devin Levi, went on and won the Vezina Trophy, I did not like that. So we got Marcus Hoberg, or oh my god, did I just... Okay, yeah, Hoberg is the name. I thought I was being diabolical for a minute, but he's a 74 overall. He will start every single game, all 82, and now this team's going to have to struggle. Well, they won't struggle. They'll still be very, very good. But it's going to be much more of a challenge now and not having a goalie that's going to put up a .930 save percentage. Auto-rotate goalies is officially off, and there we go. Hoberg, you are the hoe that runs this team. I expect you to do your job. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if you have Joseph Wall or Carey Price and net. This team's going to be very, very good. 29, 31, 6-2 to start the season. We are cruising through, and we're probably going to end up with probably over 60 wins, I'd say, at the end of the year. At the end of season number 2, I mean 64 wins, 12 regulation losses, 6 in overtime. The best team in the league still with a 74 overall starting goalie, so maybe I even have to go lower than that. Colorado had a great season. Dallas was up there. Toronto, Winnipeg, all in the top 5. And the bottom 5 was Ottawa, Calgary, Montreal, Philly, and the LA Kings. Shout out to Leon Draisaitl, led our team 50 goals, 108 points. McDavid had 1 hundo, McKinnon 98, Matthews 95, Jack Hughes had 85 and 26 goals. Even a 37-year-old in Crosby had a very good season. And for Hoberg, I mean, the record was 63, 12, and 6 with 8 shutouts and a .912 save percentage. Dear God, this man's only a 74 overall, simulating like an absolute monster. So I guess goaltending stats in this game really all just come up to how good your team is in front of you. Toronto's Austin Matthews will dominate the league, have the most goals with 63, also the most points at 117. Mitch Marner was up there. Pasternak had a great year. Our Leon, he was at the top of the scoring, did not take home the Art Ross, though. McDavid was good. Braden Point, our other McDavid. Nathan MacKinnon had 1 hundo. On the goal side, Pasternak had 62, so he was close to catching Matthews. Draisaitl had 60, Stammer 52, Leon 50, Bedard 46. Our Bedard is not even playing. He's a healthy scratch at an 88 overall, but this one already is up to a 93, so maybe Bedsy should actually be in the lineup. Could help us a little bit, although I don't even know if we need help, as Marcus Hoberg will set the wins record, 63 on the season, had more than Levi last year, and he's also going to tie for the most shutouts alongside Connor Hellebuck. and probably go on and end up winning the Vezina Trophy. In round number 1, the Yukon Icemen will face the Vancouver Canucks, so no easy matchup to start the postseason. We are going to have to play a good team in round 1, 2, 3, and 4 to see if we actually earn the right to go back-to-back here in Stanley Cup playoffs. We are leading 3-1 in the series, and it seems like, Vancouver are just a stepping stone to the second round of the postseason. In Game 5, trying to close it out, and we are headed to overtime. So let's see what we can do in the real-time sim. We are all knotted up at 3 apiece. The first shot, maybe the one to go in. But of course, Vancouver fighting to keep their season alive. And never mind, Leon Draisaitl, overtime winner, game winner, series winner. And Yukon is off to round number 2, where we are now going to play the Vegas Golden Knights, so maybe a little bit of a better team than Vancouver. We got a 1-1 tie after 2. Heading into Game 3, we win that, shut them out for nothing. And just like Vancouver, we take a 3-1 series advantage. Heading into a do-or-die Game 5 for the Golden Knights. 1-0 after 1, 2-0 after 2. And now Yukon, all they got to do is shut the door. We're outplaying them. Shots are 30-17. With Hoberg possibly having a shutout in the closeout game. Elias Pettersson on Aiden Hill. That is a 3-0 lead. And Yukon is headed back. Oh my God, a little bit of a scare late in the period with Shea Theodore and Ivan Byryshev scoring. But Yukon will hold on, and we're off to the conference finals. We have a rematch up against Dallas here in the conference finals. I think we dominated them last season, and right now we're up 2-0, maybe possibly 3. No, okay, they win Game 3, so they're not out of it yet. We win Game 4, and now in Game 5 again. Every single series so far has been a gentleman's sweep. Can we do the same here in the conference finals? And we will get it done. A 6-0 domination. And we're going to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. The gentlemen swept our way all the way back to another cup final up against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have a great team that usually simulates well in this game. So maybe this can be our toughest test of the video so far. If not, I feel like we're just going to completely steamroll them. As top to bottom, there's not really a team in the NHL that can compete with us. We're up 2-0 in the series. Will it be a 3-0? So another possibility of a sweep here in the Stanley Cup finals. Honestly, hope we lose this game so we can go back on home ice and win the Stanley Cup. There we go. Tampa Bay 2-0 heading into the third, and a 5-3 win for Tampa, so they get a win in the series. And then we get to go back home and possibly win the Stanley Cup on home ice. This is exactly what I wanted. Past this plan, baby. We get a 3-2 lead heading into the third. Hopefully, this can be the game that we get it done. Shots are 35-17. So nobody can really compete with us. Somebody's going to have a hot goalie that just plays out of their mind against us if they want to beat us in a best-of-7 series. It's not a one-game elimination. You got to win 4 of those bad boys. Here we go. A minute 19 left to go in the third period. Stanley Cup in the building, season on the line. And we are trying to win it on home ice. Obviously, I forget who we even beat last season, but it was on the road. It was Toronto. It was in Toronto, right? Yes, Crosby coming down the wing. I don't know what on earth he was doing that one-touch deke for. McKinnon shooting, and Vasilevsky will make the save. As Tampa, they're going to have to pull their goalie. They got to get some sort of offense here to tie this game up and force overtime. There is a 74 in goal, so possibly a chance of a squeaker going in, but they got an empty net right now. Things are not going well. Braden Point coming into the zone. He's waiting. Over backdoor to Kucherov, and Hoberg will actually make the save. Great positioning there. Anze Kopitar skates it out as a defenseman. I don't know why he was trying to give it to Crosby there. It was all alone. Empty net attempt, and we miss it, of course. If you're not at least at the top of the circle, I don't expect the computers to put it home. Kucherov over to Brandon Hagel. In the middle, Cirelli. They don't even get a clean shot on the net, and that might do it. Empty net for McDavid to Anze Kopitar as the Yukon Icemen in season number 2 will go back-to-back, winning their second straight Stanley Cup, proving to be the best team in the league, and nobody, and I mean nobody, really can compete with them. The team full of centermen are going to get the job done. The best players in the world are in fact centermen. We got studs like McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, Leon Draisaitl, Braden Point, Anze Kopitar, Alexander Barkov. This guy right here, Conn Smythe winner in Leon, 12 goals, 22 points, 23 hits. And of course, he plays for the best team as we get to win it on home ice. Obviously, Yukon is a PHL team. Don't worry, boys. That video is coming soon. It's going to be an absolute banger. But nonetheless, there is the Stanley Cup being raised on home ice. Where is Gary Bettman? I want to see his ugly ass smug handing that trophy to my glorious king, Connor McDavid. Come on up here, buddy. Second time in as many seasons. 2 Stanley Cups to your legacy. Already a Hall of Famer, maybe the best of all time. But most importantly, a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. McDavid actually had the most points on our team. He only had 6 goals, but 23 points. Leon had 22, Matthews 20, Crosby 17, Stammer 16. And for Hoberg, I mean, it got a little more realistic. Only a .907 save percentage. He did have 2 shutouts, though. But most importantly, he had 16 wins, and he got the job done. Leon will win the Ted Lindsay and Hart Trophy. Art Ross and Maurice Richard to Matthews. Fox will take home the Norris. Leon will win the Conn Smythe. Hoberg, I mean, we still get the Vezina winner because we were so goddamn good. And Alexander Barkov, yet again the Selke. Well, I believe this team has proved their point. They won back-to-back cups. Really, were never even that challenged in any playoff series or the regular season as well. 71 wins, and I think we had like 68 or 64 the next year. We got the job done. Back-to-back trophies. Probably could have won 3 in a row, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who knows? But I think we got our point across with a team full of centermen. Absolutely overpowered in the National Hockey League. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave some support on it. Let me know in the comments what type of video you'd like to see next. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.